single and very surprised. I wrote notes. This is not easy for me to share. It is very vulnerable, but if I can make a positive impact on someone, then it would be worth it. I'm Brianna. I'm 28 years old. I actually will be 29 in 3 months. As I was thinking about this video and the story I wanted to share, I realized there are several reasons why I am genuinely surprised I am single right now. First, I would just say that I just genuinely believe that I would have been married and have children by now, and that is not the case. I thought that I may have met someone when I was younger and then maybe had been dating them for a few years and then get married. And as you get older, your perception and all of that just really shifts. So I would say the biggest reason I am just surprised is because I really believed with all of my heart, soul, mind, spirit, I would be married right now. So it's just a surprise to me. But I want to take you to a particular moment of surprise, a bad surprise. A lot of people think of surprises as being good, and there are obviously very good surprises. Good surprises bring joy and positive emotions, and then there are bad surprises. And bad surprises bring distress and discouragement. So I didn't just wake up and one day just feel so surprised, like, oh my gosh, I'm 28, or oh my gosh, I'm getting older and I'm just so surprised by this. I'm so surprised that I'm single. No, I want to take you to a particular moment that I just felt was a bad surprise for me. I felt unprepared, and that brought a lot of distress to me. So it's a pretty long story, but my mom and I moved into this apartment. We had moved to another state and ended up moving to this particular apartment that I'm in right now. Isn't it beautiful? My mom was in a serious relationship at the time, and I knew they were going to be getting married, and I was so excited for this. And at some point while living in this apartment, I ended up getting into a relationship too. So this is just so exciting. My mom is in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. I knew their relationship was headed towards marriage, and I was hopeful that mine would as well. For me personally, I believe that's really the purpose of dating. So that was where my mindset was. In no time, my mom ends up getting engaged. So exciting. And also in the whole mix of this, I knew my mother would be moving. I knew she was going to be leaving me, and we talked a lot and we were both very excited. We had regular conversations of, this is our last season together, like living together. Of course, we will always be in each other's lives, but this is the last season that we could watch a movie every single night. This is the last season that we're just going to be living together. So I do believe that we really enjoyed that season where we lived together, and my mom and I definitely have a friendship. So my mom is engaged. I knew that a month before her wedding, she would be leaving not just this apartment, but actually the state. The person that she was seeing and had gotten engaged to is an attorney, and if anyone is an attorney or have attorney friends or whatever, it's not easy to study and take the bar. And so that was a part of their whole arrangement that she would be moving to the state he is in, because he is an attorney in that state. So my mom is engaged, I'm in this relationship, and I was dating this person for about 4 months, and it just was not going in the right direction. What do I mean by that? I mean that maybe there was a month out of the 4 months that were genuinely good. So out of just the 4 months of dating this person, it just was kind of getting worse. Arguments were increasing, and it was just not going in a good direction. I was really feeling uneasy and just not at peace. And this is really a great guy. Just, we were in so much conflict because we didn't share the same values when it came to important things, important areas of our lives. So I'm in this relationship. My mom is set to move. She's engaged. It's very exciting. And about 3 months before she moves, the relationship I was in ended. This is the part that I'm feeling very, very surprised. Prior to dating this person, I was single, obviously, and because I was 28 when him and I met, I wasn't super young. I just had in my mind, this has to be my person. This has to be it. There is just no way I can continue to just date and break up and date and break up. It just has to be my person. It has to be my time. Like, is it my time? I have several friends that are married and or most in a serious relationship. And it's not even, literally, it has nothing to even do with other people, because at the end of the day, you are you. This was always my hope and desire. It has nothing literally to do with anyone else. So prior to meeting this person, I had in my mind the next person would be my husband. When I started dating him, again, he's such a nice guy. You have to be my husband. Like, this has to be it. And so when things were heading in the wrong direction, it was just extremely troubling to me. I am the person who ended up ending the relationship. And I find myself in this place again of being single. With my mom moving, it really was such a shock to me. I was just so beyond myself, so shocked that I was in this place that I am still single. It just really hit me in a very different way, because last season my mom and I had lived together. Not just in this place, we had lived in another place. We really became teammates. So I did the cooking. I would prepare her lunch and breakfast, and she would clean up after. And we would help each other with laundry, and we just really became teammates. It was really a beautiful time. But I think that being single, particularly at this age, I was so surprised because I felt so unprepared. I had been told growing up a very particular message of maybe how my life may look. And I just literally thought it would play out in a particular way. And I know for certain I will be married and I will have children. So this is not a hopeless video at all, but the timing of it really threw me for a loop because timing is relevant, and it was relevant to me. I started feeling more stressed about finances. I started feeling more stressed about a lot of different things that I just really didn't feel ready for. And when I say also unprepared, I think that what was upsetting me is that I just felt like no one warned me. Just the way I grew up, my life was just not right. So for example, I was thinking that, you know what, if I was a teenager and knew that my life would be where it is right now. I would have studied this in school. I would have went to college longer. I would have gotten a different type of job. I would have been climbing the corporate ladder right now, or been in a whole different career or field. And now I never thought that I would have to pay for so many different things on my own. I never thought I would have to navigate the day in and day out on my own, which is like what happens when you live alone. There's a lot of day in and day out things that you are doing by yourself. I think that some of it is good. And funny enough, I actually always wanted to live on my own, but I wanted to do it at a totally different season. And one day I was talking to someone, I don't know who it was, maybe it was my mom, but I was telling them, just this feeling of feeling unprepared and all these different things. And they had told me, well, Brianna, didn't you always want to live alone? Yeah, when I was 18, when I was not at 28. And that's definitely a really key point, because when you do live alone, there are the day in, day out responsibilities. But I think that at this stage in my life, I really just want to have that partner that you are doing life with, someone that will come alongside you to help you. I don't feel like I'm in a place right now where I am striving for independence in any way, like a lot of teenagers or maybe people in their early 20s. Maybe if you're listening to this, you're in your late 20s and you are excited to have independence. For me, I think my season definitely is more so, no, I want a partner. I don't want to just do everything independently. So my newly single position really starts to settle in on me, and I just was wrestling with so many different things, and a lot of it had to do with regret, not even personal regret, because I felt very confident in breakups that I've had and relationships that have ended. I felt confident in, just the way that I chose to live my life as a woman, as a single woman, as a woman in a relationship when I was in relationships. But I felt regret with the way that I was taught with certain things, the way I was raised with certain things, and I just felt very upset with what I felt was just indoctrination of how my life would be as a woman. And I just felt like, if I knew that I would be at this place, I would have done things differently. And it was just really living in a regret, which is so unhelpful. And all of this inner turmoil and all of this wrestling I was having in my mind just really put me in a very dark space. So the time comes for my mom to leave, and she moves. She is now currently over 1,000 miles from me. It's just beautiful to see someone in a very healthy and happy relationship. Now I'm alone, right, in this apartment. Have you ever had just someone surprise you, friends surprise you, family surprise you with a birthday party, or just literally anything, a gift, whatever, and your mind starts to just process this surprise, like you're just genuinely surprised, and you start to wonder, like, when did you guys plan this? Or, oh, you told me that we were going to this person's baby shower. Is that person really still having a baby shower today? And you just start wondering what happened, like how did they get this surprise over on you? So now I'm living by myself, and I would say maybe for about 2 months I am shocked. Remember, this is still a bad surprise for me. Good surprises bring positive emotions, bad surprises bring negative emotions. So I am shocked in a negative way. It's that distress and just like, what am I gonna do, la la la. Maybe it didn't last for 2 months. I don't know how long it lasted. Maybe it was a couple weeks, but I had a lot of moments where I was just really shocked, like, how did this happen? Was I supposed to be dating in high school? Should I have met someone at this church? Like, should I, like, it was just really, like, just shock. Like, my brain is trying to put together, Brianna, how did you get to this place in your life? And really, I think that some of us have those tendencies, people that tend to be very hard on themselves and just overanalyze and pick apart your decisions. And maybe there are people listening, you are also picking apart where you are in your life right now. It doesn't have to be your singleness. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a very opposite of what I'm talking about. Maybe you're picking apart your job or career or lack thereof. Like, oh, well, if I went to college or if I didn't help my family, then picking your life apart does no good. It's important to reflect on your decisions and reflect on different seasons of your life, but that is to learn to take the wisdom and lessons from it. It's not to beat yourself up. My online mentor, she's really not my mentor because I don't know her, but someone that I admire is Judge Faith Jenkins Lattimore, and she talks about this concept called radical acceptance. And it really has to do with letting go of bad decisions, letting go of your past, and just accept it. And with radical acceptance really comes forgiveness. I want to read a portion in her book about acceptance. This portion of the book, she's talking about forgiving and accepting bad relationships, bad partners, and bad decisions on your part. She writes, acceptance means removing all judgment of them or yourself. We make mistakes or bad decisions, but we are not those mistakes or bad decisions. We grow and learn, and there's no shame in any of that. If you are in a place right now that you are not proud of, whether you're not happy with your finances, whether you've been divorced, whether you've just made a lot of poor decisions in your life, accept it. We've all made bad decisions. We've all found ourselves in places that we're less than thrilled about, but accept it. Because if you cannot accept it, it's going to linger on. It will get chained to you, and you will carry that burden of shame and regret. And you will continue to carry those mistakes with you in every season. If you are able to accept the mistakes or disappointments, that's when you can actually move on. In what ways can you look at the positive of your situation? Am I happy? Well, I actually am happy being single right now. I have joy, thank God. But I would prefer to be in a healthy, happy relationship. One thing I'm proud about is that I am not compromising my morals or my values for the sake of a relationship. I am so proud to be able to say that. Sometimes I hear these comments, people saying that, oh, your single friends want you to be single like them. They want you to be miserable, la, la, la. If you are in a happy, fruitful relationship, I would never want you to not be. But if you are in a relationship that you have made unhealthy compromises, compromising who you are, your values, your integrity, your morals, sacrificing your peace, it is not worth it. It is not worth it. Yes, I had my time. I was feeling very dark. I shared I really was in a dark place, feeling unprepared, all of this stuff, just feeling extremely surprised and in distress. But it was a tunnel, and I made it on the other side of the tunnel. Those were just feelings. I was feeling down, I was feeling disappointed, but I made it on the other side of that feeling. And that is precisely why we do not live by our feelings. Our feelings are up and down and up and down. I heard someone say, and I just really had to think about it, that our feelings don't just change season to season or day by day. Our feelings could literally change like 300 times in a day. And it is so true. There have been days that I had just a really great work day, then get a bad call and I'll be crying. Then a friend calls and I'm laughing. And then I think about that call that was bad, and then I cry again. And then I watch something that makes me happy and I'm happy. And that's just completely normal. We cannot live by our feelings. We can't make decisions based on our feelings. If you are in a bad place, you are going to get past it. You will. You will. The sun is going down, so I need to wrap up this video. Now that, remember when I talked about just feeling ill-prepared for this season? I just felt not prepared. If I knew I would be single at this age, right? It's not like being single at 16, 17 when you're under your parents' care. If I knew I would be single at 28 years old, having to pay for all of these things and just support myself, I would have prepared in a better way. Because I made it on the other side of the tunnel, because I am focused on my purpose, because I am grounded by God, I now believe that any preparation I would have done, if I had the foresight to know I would be single at 28, it would have been false preparation. Because everything in my life had to happen to get me to this exact place. There are no coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. I'm exactly where I need to be. And I just really want to make this video to say, I believe you're exactly where you need to be right now. Even if you are in the worst place, the worst season of your life, things could turn around. It's never too late. Bye.